Dudes, let's talk about the Justice League deleted scenes, namely the ones that relate to Henry Cavill's Superman character, because I think they're kind of important that we have just a little bit of a chat about them. Also, I'd like to talk about some pictures that I've seen online where Superman is in that fight scene with the rest of the Justice League at the monument, specifically the ones that show his face. Let's talk.
Assuming you're well. The cats. They said you'd come. Now let's hope you're not too late.
Okay, DC Squad, so ever since these deleted scenes have dropped, namely the one where Superman's on the ship looking for another suit, and you've also got the one where Superman meets Alfred for the first time, in the commercials, if you remember back in the day when the first Justice League commercials were beginning to hit, there was a scene where Alfred was clearly talking to Superman. You didn't see him, but we all called it, we all knew that he was talking to Superman. And for some reason that didn't end up in the movie, and neither did the scene where Superman kind of looks over his shoulder at Lois while standing in the cornfield and says,
I'll take that as a yes.
That was cut out as well. And those scenes were integral, I feel, to telling the Superman side of the Justice League story, of which they really did skimp on in the movie. To me, the Justice League was really Man of Steel Part 3. It was the full story for Superman, because it started with Superman and Man of Steel, and then the character developed in Batman v Superman, and then the Justice League was supposed to be when we see Superman go from being like, hey, I got great power and a certain amount of responsibility that goes with it, to, does the world really actually need me? Am I doing any good in this world? Am I good enough to call myself a Superman? To the Justice League, which was supposed to be, hey, now Superman's going to be a lot more positive, he's going to be a lot more sure of what he's doing, and comfortable in his role of being Superman to the world. Now, how you tell a story in movies is with scenes. Without scenes, there's no story. And when it comes to Superman, they cut a bunch of his stuff out. And you would be surprised how much story you can tell in just a matter of minutes. You can set the stage for a whole lot with just a few minutes worth of film scene. Now, we already have the mustache fiasco where Superman's been made a laughingstock in front of the entire world because of the unbelievably terrible CGI at certain points with Superman's top lip. There are times when it's great. Although, I gotta say, looking back at my review of the movie, there are times when I thought the CGI wasn't bad, when it was actually just some of Zack Snyder's original footage and not some of the CGI work. Even some of the footage at the monument is not 100% completely redone, because there's behind the scenes photos showing Superman and Gal doing that scene together with him pressed up against her shield, and there ain't no mustache there. So not the entire scene at that monument is an entire CGI mustache fiasco thing. However, the close-up where he's asking Batman if he bleeds is absolutely, definitely CGI. Really not good CGI. Like, did you guys actually try to make it look good? It's not really their fault, because Warner Brothers was like, we got a timeline, we want this movie to be released on the date that we say so, and they cared more about just getting it out there than pushing the movie back another month and making sure that the company that did the CGI actually did a good job. Because yes, we are 100% capable of giving Henry Cavill a bona fide grade A mustacheless top lip in a Justice League movie, and instead what they got was the equivalent of grade A under A drawing a top lip on his face. You get that? See, his pictures were really rudimentary, and that, forget it. Point is, these deleted scenes actually would have done a really good job at helping to tell Superman's story further in the DC film universe. I think they were integral, and really, I think the fact that these scenes are coming out now is something that's going to piss off a lot of DC/Superman fans, because it's evident to all of us that these scenes should have been in there. I haven't heard anybody yet online anywhere say, oh no, this scene shouldn't have been there. It made the film too long and bulky. He flies off after the monument scene, and then we see him later with Lois in the cornfield, and they don't even keep in the important part that they showed us in the trailer. We don't see him getting his suit back. We don't see him talking to Alfred, which is part of what sold the movie to us in the trailer, was that meetup between Superman and Alfred. No, we go right from him flying off to a very quick scene at the farm, which wasn't terrible, but it certainly needed the stuff they showed us in the trailer. And then after that, Superman is just there in the ending scene with the big fight. Now don't get me wrong, it was cool to see Superman kicking all kinds of ass in the end of the movie. I really enjoyed that part. And I enjoyed the fact that they made it a point to show Superman going off and taking care of civilians before he dealt with the big threat, which the rest of the League was containing. Before he flew up and said, is this guy still bothering you? And socked him into kisser. Superman was all, boom! Steppenwolf was all, whoa! And then he was all, with his heat vision. Yeah, I like that part of the movie. It was good. It actually ran parallel to a lot of the stuff I see in the Justice League comics. However, when you do not put in those very important scenes that show the development of the character of Superman, you're left with the question of, why do I care? I mean, I care. It's Superman, right? I mean, I'm always going to care because I love the character. But for the average person, which is really who these films, they were trying to give a head nod to fans like myself. However, they're also trying to open up the Justice League to a general market, just like Marvel did with all of their characters. And so to do that, you have to make the average person that just sees Superman as a guy with a spit curl and a cape and his hands on his hips, chuckling and laughing with the rest of the super friends, you have to make those people care about your character and become invested in that character. And when you started a journey with that character over 3 movies, and you get to the end and you realize that there's no real reason for Superman to be positive and smiling by the end of the Justice League in comparison to what he was like in the beginning of Man of Steel. And you could have avoided that whole problem by actually including some very large integral scenes. It kind of sucks. It's a bummer to put out a product that was shorter in Warner Brothers' time frame. We lost important scenes. They sacrificed the quality for the timing, and that's a huge problem. That tells DC fans, hey, guess what? We don't really care about the quality of the product. We just care about pushing it out there. Hey, we said we'd get it out by a certain date. Don't worry. We got your back. We're going to get the film out by the said release date. It might be a little bit rough in some places, but at least it's out, right? Right? Why is no one clapping? Basically, Warner Brothers, you didn't include these scenes in the movie, and you shit the bed. Straight up. First class bed shitting. Right here. Now, the scene between Alfred and Superman, though very short, actually shows that Alfred likes Superman, and that he believes in Superman, and that he trusts Superman. It carries on his thoughts from Batman v Superman. That Alfred never thought that Superman was the enemy. That it was always Bruce that did. Now, comparatively to what is leaked online already from the Superman-Alfred scene, I'm sure there's probably a little bit more dialogue that hasn't leaked online that we haven't seen yet. So I'm excited to see that. Now, as far as the first deleted scene where Superman has gone back to the ship to try and retrieve another Kryptonian House of L glyph piece of armor, I don't want to call it a costume because it's not a costume in the DC universe. It's more like Kryptonian garb or a uniform or clothes. It's a cape to us, but everyone wore capes on Krypton. That was just fashion. But that scene being cut out where we see Superman showing up, kind of walking through this Kryptonian ship again, looking for another suit, and then they give us a glimpse of the black suit, and they also give us a glimpse of what amounts to be the Kryptonian spacesuit / armor, what Zod was wearing and the rest of his gang when they showed up on Earth in Man of Steel. It kind of ticked people off. Not because we got a chance to see another shot of this Kryptonian armor. I don't think people really care about that as much as it's the black suit, the resurrection suit. Now I'm just going to call it, I'm going to say I don't think that he actually ever wears the black regeneration suit even in Zack Snyder's cut. I'm gonna say it probably just stayed on that mannequin for display, because when I look at where this scene fits in, clearly it fits in after the Superman Lois at the farm scene, the Kent farmhouse scene. I'm gonna say he flies up, goes to find another suit, there's a little bit of a head nod to the black one, you know, just for us fans, and then he puts on a blue, red, and yellow suit. There just doesn't seem to be any time for him to wear that regeneration suit, because in the comics, he wears that suit while he is in the regeneration matrix. And he wears the suit after he comes out of the chamber because it's helping him to restore his powers. It's black. It's a solar suit. It attracts the sun. Very simple. It's like a solar panel. Solar panels are dark, and the dark attracts the heat, and the heat charges the solar panels. Superman is a solar battery, thus the black suit. But yeah, I don't think he actually ever wears it. The point is, it was cut out of the film and it was clearly a head nod. Zack Snyder, being a fan of Superman, wanted to include that, and we never got it. They cut it out and fans are annoyed, and rightly so. So I guess what I'm saying is, these two scenes that I know of that they've cut out of Justice League would have further told the Superman story. They were important, and I'm glad they're going to be on the Blu-ray, hopefully in the right order, edited into the movie, but they never should have been cut in the first place. And shame on you, Warner Brothers, for cutting them out, because anyone that has any inkling of what it is to carry on a good story and write a good story can see that these should have been left in the final product. Jeez, Warner Brothers. But that's where I'm going to drop this video for today, so thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. If you liked the video, please leave a like on it, leave any comments you have down in the comment section below. If you think you might want to see more of my sort of content show up in your inbox, just hit the subscribe button. Remember to ding the bell so you never miss a video, and I will see you with the next one. See you later, super friends. Have an awesome day.